Hello, everyone. I'm Lindsay Mills.
And I'm Christina Rex. The state saw a 25% decrease in the amount of opioids being prescribed from 2016 to 2017, according to a new study by Avalier Health. That's far more than the nationwide decrease of 11%. The study credits the LePage administration's 2016 law to curb overprescribing with the decline. While this may seem like a win, it has some concern about unintended consequences.
Immediately, it's a victory. But then it's also almost instantly put into perspective.
Andrew Kizulis knows all too well how an opioid prescription can lead to substance use disorder.
Well, that becomes something you will seek out and you will find.
He's been in recovery for years and dedicates his life to making sure others struggling have that same opportunity. He says Maine's drastic reduction of prescription opioids is a win, but a win that may hurt as much as it helps.
Supply, demand. You cut off the supply, that doesn't mean the demand just goes away.
Gordon Smith of the Maine Medical Association agrees that reducing prescription opioid amounts is not a one-and-done solution to curb Maine's epidemic, a crisis that killed more than 400 people last year.
The overprescribing were one of the causal effects of the epidemic, but not the sole one. And so medicine needed to clean up that piece. That's the piece that medicine owned. And this data shows that we're doing that very rapidly.
While curbing opioid prescriptions is one step in the direction of statewide recovery, both men say there's far more work to be done. In particular, the creation of more recovery centers.
There's this resource that I know and I can point to, and there's a roof over it, and there's a, it's an actual physical establishment, this literal lighthouse in the fog of hope.
While limits on prescribed opioids could prevent future substance use problems, Andrew wants to see a new focus on helping those already struggling.
I mean, I was driving over here thinking, there are entire memories that I have where everybody's dead.
We also heard from Operation Hope, a recovery program in Scarborough. They said in part, the damage has already been done. There needs to be a lot more work than just putting a cap on prescriptions. Real work is actual quality treatment without waiting for weeks.
All right, we'll see what comes from there. Okay, switching gears now. First day of summer, guys, tomorrow, and it may be what the hot weather fans are hoping for.
Jess Conley's here now. Ladies' Day on now. Jess, what's the forecast?
The forecast looks good, too. It's going to be nice again tomorrow, very similar to what we saw today. Pretty high pressure in place. There is a cold front that's going to come through overnight tonight. It could bring a few showers, especially to down east Maine, but for the most part, we'll stay dry tonight and right through the day tomorrow, too. Most of us are seeing plenty of sunshine. We have seen some showers across far northern Maine and a few more on the way. Could even see a few thunderstorms over the next several hours. And then again, that cold front comes through tonight. It only will cool us off a little bit, though. 80 today was the high temperature in Bangor, 78 in Portland, 79 in Augusta and Waterville. The temperatures have only cooled off a couple of degrees now. Still not too bad out there at all. Still actually 80 in Bangor. It's 72 in Portland. A little bit of a sea breeze kicking in there, 73 in Wiscasset. And as we go through the overnight hours, watch this cold front. Again, it comes through mostly overnight tonight and into early tomorrow. We could see some clouds to start the day tomorrow, but as we get into tomorrow afternoon, it's going to clear up nicely again, and we'll see plenty of sunshine. We'll talk about that in the weekend forecast coming up in just a bit, guys.
A gravesite marker honoring officers killed in the line of duty was stolen from an Augusta ceremony. Police say a brass flag holder identifying the final resting place of Officer Rufus Lishness is missing. Augusta police searched the Mount Hope Cemetery grounds and didn't find it. They now believe it was taken. Officer Lishness died while serving his community in 1984. All right, this one might as well be a tennis match at this point. 1 minute minimum wage is changing. The next, it's not. As of this morning, Maine's governor was talking about his latest attempt to slow the rate at which the wages go up.
And hours later, that delay was slammed by the legislature. But small business owners who struggle to make ends meet want some sort of compromise figured out in Augusta, like Aaron Lord in Turner.
We're not in Portland here. I can't, charge $28 for an omelet. Because no one would come here.
Aaron Lord went to college to be an architect, but his roots were in the culinary world.
My dad used to own a catering company out in Los Angeles, catering movies on location. So I did that as a teenager.
And it's the career path he chose.
I think the biggest thing is multitasking.
Eventually opening his own restaurant, Terry and Maxine's, in Turner.
Order up.
He cuts costs by doing most of the cooking himself.
I have to do a lot of stuff like old school leg work, and being in the kitchen all the time, I don't have that time to do it.
He works 90 to 100 hours a week, and when you do the math to determine his hourly pay, it's far less than his wait staff.
It's frustrating.
He says when it comes to minimum wage, there needs to be a compromise.
I'm happy for them. I want to see them make money, but you know, it is a little disheartening when you're putting all that time in and they make that much money in 30 hours a week.
His message for those who support the $12 wage increase by 2020?
Own a business and then talk to me.
And Governor Paul LePage says he has no problem with the minimum wage, but it could create a domino effect where everyone eventually wants a higher wage.
Okay, so yesterday we showed you 3 hacks to help you fly through airport security. If you're taking off anytime soon, here's something else you may want to know.
Powders in your carry-on luggage will flag you for further screening. At the end of this month, passengers heading to the U.S. with more than 350 milliliters of powder could have their carry-on searched. It includes spices, ground coffee, protein mix, and cosmetic items that are about the same size as a soda can. I know I carry that amount around with me. TSA says if you fly back into the U.S. with coffee or spices, you should put it in your checked luggage. If they believe it to be suspicious at the checkpoint, they may ask you to throw it away. Our neighbors to the north are making big moves with marijuana.
Yeah, Canada will become the second country in the world to totally legalize the use of recreational marijuana from coast to coast. The Cannabis Act passed its final hurdle yesterday. Canadians will now be able to buy and consume marijuana legally starting on October 17th. The drug will also be available to order online from federally licensed producers, and Canadians can grow up to 4 plants at home.
Okay, Instagram I'm on board with, Facebook I'm on board with. Even I have a hard time keeping up with Snapchat. It's really all hard to keep track of. There's so many options. And that might be because they're also becoming so similar because it's what the younger generation wants. Katie Ortiz will break down the copycat effect.
And what's the difference between crossing the border illegally and waiting for asylum? It's very different in the eyes of the law, but many migrants arrive without a clear idea. That's coming up. Finally, we can say hi to Facebook.
I know. Hey, everybody. And for those watching on YouTube, what's up? Make sure you join the conversation. I think we have less comments on our YouTube stream, not only because we just got started, but I guess you have to have a YouTube account in order to comment.
You do.
So
you have to have at least
that.
a Gmail account, I believe.
Yeah. But let's see. I think a lot of people are talking about your story, Christina.
Joe, according to Keith, the snap face.
Yeah, exactly. Andrea says part of the issue is the doctors. However, the first issue is the drug companies. However, treatment is what is needed now.
Right. And Andrea, I think it's not, I think the impression I got from talking to everyone today is that it's not a one and done. This is a good thing. The fact that we're curbing the amount of opioids prescribed, that's a good thing. But It's just not enough. We still have thousands of people who are struggling.
Right. And the study, it's one study, right?
Right.
So we have to look at it that way too. But it is promising numbers. It's good to see some improvement at this point.
Right. And it's good to see some change made.
Rachel says, yes, doctors need to prescribe lower dose pills, but the opioid user needs to take some responsibility too. That's absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. Deborah says something made her hungry. Oh, was it the restaurant?
Oh, maybe.
Dennis says that's the old Chickadee restaurant in Turner. Dennis, you are correct. Aaron's been in business there for about a year when the Chickadee closed. He had always worked for restaurant chains and other things, and he's like, you know what, time to work for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this, the American dream. And he loves what he does. He's very passionate. He's very happy for his wait staff. But when it comes to the minimum wage, I mean, he's got a ball in his court, you know?
He's got a horse in the fight. Joe and Carmel. We had someone in Mars Hill. Where is she?
Hey. Hey, Eddie.
Guys, we gotta end this before she comes.
Oh,
Okay, so we're going to kick it out to our Digicenter with our digital diva. You know who that is by this point. And for those of you who are maybe watching for the first time today, basically we have to say goodbye from this little chat time because we use that camera in this setup situation to
Dude,
show
I'm
Katie.
stuck.
Did it freeze?
I can't get any lower than this.
Oh no.
We all laughed at Facebook when Instagram shamelessly copied Snapchat with stories and disappearing messages. We all laughed when Facebook Messenger added stories too and filters for the camera. Well, guess what? Facebook is having the last laugh as they go all in trying to get teens to use their platforms because it's working. Instagram just hit 1 billion users. How about that? And they're celebrating with video that goes beyond the 60-second limit. Introducing IGTV, which will let users post vertical clips up to an hour long. Now, it's a separate app from Instagram, but users will be able to access the videos from Instagram too. Now, IGTV creators will have a channel, kind of like that, that YouTube website. See where I'm going with this? And they've got another trick up their sleeve, and trick meaning another idea that they're also copying. Facebook's creator app, made for publishers and creators, will now have polls available for video. If that's too old school for you, how about a gameplay tool for Facebook Live? Where you can create live game shows, kind of like HQ Trivia, because that's also coming. All right, sarcasm aside, how will this help Facebook tap into the market they clearly so desperately want? Let's take a look at the numbers here. According to the Pew Research Center, of the 85% of teens who say they use YouTube, 35% say they use YouTube the most. That's a pretty solid lead compared to Instagram. 72% of teens use Instagram, but only 15% use it the most often. Facebook itself is in 4th place there. So only time will tell, but if the past is any indication, copying Snapchat and YouTube, it just might work for Facebook in the long run. Guys,
that was a lot.
I know.
I have a lot of apps to download now.
And I'm
kind
of concerned. Katie, I have a follow-up question for you.
Yes.
Will the Facebook compete, the HQ type game, will that compete with the 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. time that HQ already has?
It's possible. It's clearly what they're kind of looking for. But HQ Trivia, I would say the hype has kind of gone down since we first started playing back, I believe it was in March. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll give out some cash prizes too.
I've already committed to playing until I win HQ, so we'll see how that goes for me.
Absolutely. There you go.
All right, thanks, Katie. All right, would you trust Alexa with your bank account information? Big banks and financial companies are starting to offer services through virtual assistants, including Amazon's Alexa, Apple's Siri, and Google's Home Assistant.
Credit card companies Capital One and American Express have set up Alexa features that allow customers to check balances and pay bills with voice commands. But right now, you cannot transfer money. Users must first create a secure connection between their bank and their assistant, and all banks require a 4-digit PIN before they provide any account information over smart speakers. So we want to know, would you use this service? We're talking about it. We've been talking about it all day in our newsroom, but join the conversation if you haven't already on our Facebook and YouTube live streams.
Yep, we want to hear from you guys. So coming up, President Trump ends the policy of separating children and parents at the border. What this means for his zero-tolerance immigration commitment.
And we have a couple of nice days left before the rain moves in. Jess Conley tracking the wet weather in her full forecast coming up. You to be like conversational, it's fine. Anyway,
I'm going to the Mons.
Oh,
Jess,
are you
even
coming
matter that I
on the
wore
road with
flats
us
for
tomorrow?
Lindsay because I'm by myself.
Are you going to be out on the road with us tomorrow? No. Okay.
I think she. Well, I don't know actually. Keith usually comes, right?
Yeah. stand by because I think we're doing a field trip tomorrow for now to welcome in the first day of summer.
That's fun.
So you start this, Linz?
I just got you to write down.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yes.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, I have the sought bow.
Okay.
And then you have it. It looks like.
Good lat, Bill? Good lat?
Oh wait, I forget I have my phone. Hold on 1 minute, guys. I'm so sorry to be rude. I just gotta look something up real quick. But who's excited for the first day of summer tomorrow?
Me!
Yes! And also, I mean, Alexa, Siri handling your bank account information. That just seems wild to me, especially because we recently heard of Alexa recording conversations like without people knowing about it.
So Linz,
yeah,
I guess I'll just like toss back to you after this.
Okay, do you want me to toss to you? Or do you want to just start? My last word is immigration policy.
Our new immigration policy.
And then,
do you have like a swoopy thing, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be fine.
We're swooping.
You don't have to say anything.
okay.
Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing back after.
Oh, it happens twice.
2 times.
Oh my God! Wow, Rachel.
All right, guys.
Something fun to do.
Hi, Facebook.
Hello, hello.
And YouTube.
30 away.
Wow, Deborah,
Donna,
that is
Maine.
an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Donna, you are absolutely right about that, and that's a lot of the conversation we've had is how, you know, sure, we can prevent the drugs from getting to people, but we also need to help the people who are already suffering with more treatment facilities.
President Trump ends the practice of separating families at the southern border. Alongside Vice President Mike Pence and Homeland Secretary Nielsen, President Trump announced that families crossing the border illegally will be detained together by ICE, presumably in the facilities or tent cities springing up along the border. Now, Secretary Nielsen hinted that this is a temporary fix while Congress hashes out a new immigration policy. Christina?
And right now, Republican lawmakers in the House are working on 2 immigration bills, which should be up for a vote tomorrow. The first one is known as the Goodlatte bill, proposed by Congressman Bob Goodlatte of Virginia. It would give DACA recipients, also known as Dreamers, only temporary status. The bill also includes deep cuts to legal immigration and would require employers to use e-verify systems to confirm employee citizenship. The other bill, known commonly as the Compromise bill, is considered more moderate. It was drafted by House leaders and White House staffers. Now, this bill provides Dreamers an eventual pathway to citizenship and would not include employee e-verify requirements. Now, here's what the 2 bills have in common. Both provide funding for President Trump's promised border wall. They also end the diversity lottery program. Now, President Trump is meeting with GOP leaders over the course of the week to nail down something that could get through Congress. Lindsay?
All right, Karix, thanks. Well, in the eyes of the law, there's a difference between a family that crosses the border illegally and a family that requests asylum at the border. But many aren't sure what the difference is and are just trying desperately to get into America. Oscar Margine reports from the border.
It's yet another rainy day for asylum seekers camped out at this Brownsville port of entry at the Texas-Mexico border. 9 people were out here when we showed up. Mainly Central Americans and this Brazilian family, all trying to weather the storm using plastic bags and pieces of carton to keep themselves and their belongings dry as they await their turn on the Mexican side to get their asylum claim filed. This single Honduran mother carrying her 5-year-old daughter and her 9-year-old son is putting a brave face. It'll be the 3rd night she's waited out here. Elsie Hernandez says she was told by customs agents she needed to stick around or else she would lose her spot. She wasn't aware she could face prosecution and have her children separated from had she crossed the river instead. Just 2 weeks ago, asylum seekers at this port of entry in Hidalgo, Texas, were waiting on the U.S. side to be processed until Customs and Border Protection decided a week later to move agents to the middle of the bridge to filter out pedestrians without documents. The bridge had about at least a couple dozen of people waiting, camping out here, and now it's empty. It's a practice the DHS secretary says was necessary.
If we do not have enough medical personnel on staff, if we do not have enough caretakers on staff, then we will tell people that come to the border they need to come back.
Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley doesn't buy that explanation. He and a group of Democratic congressmen were given a tour of the Hidalgo Bridge by CBP Sunday.
The administration could respond by reallocating resources to address this situation. They're choosing not to, and that means they're just trying to prevent people from coming in.
This 22-year-old Guatemalan man came here on his own after multiple threats on his life back home. Safety is why he's staying on the bridge as many days as necessary, as he could fall prey to cartels in Mexico.
And President Trump has said in the past that the applications for asylum are not strict enough and anyone can claim they feel unsafe in their home country. That may be another issue Congress takes up in the coming days.
In the meantime, President Trump's executive order ending family separation at the border will probably be a popular decision. 2 public opinion polls this week by Quinnipiac and CNN found most Americans wanted families kept together and were against the policy of detaining adults and sending children to child services. The president's executive order keeps families together, but he pledges that the zero-tolerance policy at the border will continue. How can those things both be true? We're going to have more on that story coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30.
Well, it wasn't just elected leaders and activists speaking out. The White House was starting to feel pressure from businesses as well. American Airlines formally requested today that federal government immediately refrain from using American for the purpose of transporting children who have been separated from their families due to the immigration policy. In a statement released today, the airline said, quote, "We have no desire to be associated with separating families or worse, to profit from it." This immigration debate is what all of you are talking about today, so we want to share your opinion right now on our Facebook or YouTube live streams. All right, we're checking in now with Jess Conley. Can you guys believe, and everyone at home watching on YouTube and Facebook, tomorrow's the first day of summer?
I know, it is. 6:07.
I almost can because the weather's been so great.
I know. I just want to roll, and we're going to stay on that just for a couple days, and then the weekend. It seems that the rain is on the weekend. We do need it, of course, and we're actually seeing a little bit of rain across northern Maine today. The rest of us, though, a gorgeous day, plenty of sunshine. It warmed up, too. It's going to be nice again tomorrow. Still looks pretty good for Friday, but as we get into the weekend, things will change at least a little bit for Saturday and Sunday. Again, this cold front is going to come through tonight. It's not really going to cool us off that much, but we will see a couple showers, especially across down East Maine as we go through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Beautiful out, though. Still 80 right now in Bangor, 77 in Waterville, Augusta 76, Lewiston 78 still. Sanford's at 81, Portland at 72, though it has cooled off a few degrees. Our dew points pretty comfortable, too, upper 40s and low to mid 50s. Not too humid out there, just nice and dry and bright for most of us. Again, this cold front comes through overnight tonight and through the morning hours of tomorrow. We'll start out tomorrow morning with temperatures for the most part in the upper 50s and lower 60s. A couple clouds possible, but we'll clear out pretty quickly for tomorrow. We'll see more sunshine, and those high temperatures make it into the low to mid 70s. Again, for tomorrow, it's going to be gorgeous. As we go through the overnight hours and into early Friday morning, it will cool off. We'll start Friday morning in the upper 50s and lower 60s, but by Friday afternoon, we're back into the low to mid 70s. Another gorgeous day, but by Friday night, a couple clouds start to move in, and we will see more clouds as we get into the day on Saturday. Unfortunately, it looks like some rain showers, too, for the weekend. I know if you have a garden, you're probably fine with that. Unfortunately, the timing, I wish it could have been a little bit earlier in the week. But overall, the weekend's not awful. It's not great either. Saturday afternoon, you can see this rain starts to move in. It sticks around through the overnight hours into early Sunday. It looks like it'll mainly be showers, not a steady, heavy soaking rain. The best chance of that would be either Sunday morning or late Sunday night. You can see as we go through the middle of the day on Sunday, it actually looks like we might get a little bit of a break. This is 11 o'clock Sunday morning. By Sunday night, rain moves in again, and then it will clear out as we get into the day on Monday. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 6:07 a.m. Set your alarm clocks, ladies. I know you will. Nice and early tomorrow. Finally, summer looks good again tomorrow and Friday. Both look beautiful, mid to upper 70s. And then as we get into the weekend, just a couple showers late Saturday mainly into early Sunday. And then it looks like a couple more showers possible by Sunday afternoon. Next week, again, looks gorgeous. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunny, and we'll be in the mid to upper 80s through the middle of next week. So looking pretty good.
It's easy to get comfortable at this time of year because the mornings are so nice and the early evenings, perfect for eating outside. You know,
I'm
maybe having dinner outside.
Now hits the road at the beach.
It's
next
a good one.
Wednesday, maybe?
Yeah, and we do it, right? That's the whole mission of this show. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, Jess,
Love
thanks.
it.
Okay, I simply cannot agree with this story, but Tom Brady is not the most talented quarterback in the NFL, at least according to the newest version of Madden. The player ratings were released yesterday, and TB12 earned a 97, while Green Bay Packers' Aaron Rodgers scored a 99, almost a perfect score. We want to know from you. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady? I hope the answer is no.
Right.
But comment right now on our Facebook Live and our YouTube Live streams to let us know what you think.
All right, a lot more news coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. Let's check in with Cindy. Hey.
Hey, ladies. Coming up, should the name of a registered sex offender be added to the memorial for victims of murder? This is a debate that has been raging for years, but now his family and keepers of the memorial have come to an agreement. We're going to have that story. And members of Maine's National Guard are headed to the southern border. Why President Trump is breaking with many of his colleagues on the East Coast. That and more coming up in the next half hour. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, thanks so much. Now we'll be right back.
I wanted to say something along the lines of like, and no all-female newscast would be complete without Cindy Williams. But like,
that would have been so cute.
Yeah. I just I didn't look at like what her story was,
Right.
and if it's like serious, I never know.
Oh, we can do it at 5:30.
That's true.
When we toss to 5:30,
Yeah. This female theme.
Yeah, it's from two ladies to the next.
So it looks like I have the first one, and then you get the second one.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, guys. Wait, so, John, it sounds like you want to share a story with us.
Okay. Ooh, charity, female power, I feel that.
Yeah. Wait, so John Rogers, it sounds like you have an important story to share. So if you want, I know you mentioned 207, but we would love to hear from you too. So if you want to reach out to us, by all means, go for it.
Yeah, send us a direct message.
Yeah, direct message or on Facebook, or you could email us at asknow@newscentermaine.com. We'd love to hear your story.
Hello, John. Hello, Robert.
A lot of support for Tom Brady right now.
And a lot of
surprise
support
there.
for the all-lady news team.
Joe, I don't have an answer for you yet. I don't know if we can say it. I don't want to jinx it.
What did Joe say?
He is wondering where we're going to be on the road. I think we're still
wood.
working out some technical things. So I don't want to set your hopes up.
Guys, we need more comments on Facebook and on YouTube. Is Aaron Rodgers a better quarterback than Tom Brady? That's a question that we just asked on our show in all seriousness, even if it breaks my heart.
Right. I don't know. I would like to take a look at how they determine that again, closer.
It's got to be stats, right?
Who remembers?
We're genuine, too. Like,
Jaws.
we may not be from Maine, but
I know. Right.
Patriots land.
Exactly.
Never had to fake on that one.
Exactly. Well, I will say, when you're anywhere not New England, it's really hard to be a Patriots fan.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure in Illinois. Did you just have to, like, go along with it?
It's, like, interesting because Illinois is, like, you could be a Green Bay Packers fan, you could be a Bears fan, you could be, like, anything
so you're just
but
quiet.
Patriots. Yeah. So it's just like... 43 years ago today, Jaws swam into theaters, terrorized audiences, and spawned a new cult classic. So we posted our Facebook page asking how many of you are still afraid of the ocean because of this movie.
A lot of you were not too ashamed to admit that you're still very scared of sharks. Marianne says she hasn't swam in the ocean since '75, while Stephanie says she'll only go in ankle deep, but Jill says she's never even seen this movie.
It's not the sharks that terrify me, it's the jellyfish.
Fair enough. Okay, all lady team here, passing it to another wonderful lady, Cindy Williams. News Center Maine at 5:30 starts now.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid to start talking until something transitions because I don't know if our mics are up.
Couple of things. I think you all unanimously agree that Tom Brady's a better quarterback. Good men.
Awesome. How'd it go?
That's good.
Good. We
A lot
were
of estrogen
slamming
on this crowd.
Awesome.
If you got just a little behind the scenes secret, I'm pretty sure we were both editing up until like seconds before the show.
4:55 though. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
How was your shoot?
So
Really good.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I put these two under the gun.
It was
I'm
fine.
sorry.
No, you're
I
good.
think it'll be worth it.
Yay! And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes. And
Great
I'm really
story by
excited
Coco tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really excited to show all of you guys this story tomorrow.
So
it has to
cool.
do with police officers. It has to do with marijuana. And you will see people on camera smoking marijuana.
Police and weed tomorrow on News Center Now.
That's my tease.
Did you actively participate in this?
Bye, guys.
No.
On that note, bye, guys.